Hey, what's up? This is Arachnid here, and we're looking at more Acronym this week, specifically in the form of the LA6B-AD. Acronym are a brand perhaps best known for their technical outerwear pieces and stuff like that, but they have a big portfolio of products ranging from beanies to sunglasses to mid-layer pieces, and that's just this season alone. And we're looking at one of the latter here, the LA6B, being a kind of overshirt, and coming in at £700 or $800, $850, that kind of price. It's certainly nothing cheap, but by Acronym standards, perhaps a tiny bit more affordable than some of their flagship outerwear products. This was part of their second FW19 drop, and as you can see has very little of the performance features and obvious technical aesthetic that you might associate with a lot of Acronym pieces, and yet this was the most popular piece of the drop, selling out in minutes on the official Acronym website and not long after on all the official resellers. As of now, kind of 2 weeks or so on from its release, this is not really possible to find in any size at any retailer. I managed to scoop one up, as you can see here, but we're going to have a look at the aesthetics, construction, the performance, all that sort of thing, and really hopefully identify what is it about the LA6B-AD that has made this such a popular piece and sell out faster than some of the flagship Acronym products and some of the perhaps more overtly Acronym pieces. So let's take a closer look at this rather understated garment, and then hopefully we'll learn a little bit about what has made this such a popular item of clothing this season. As I suggested in the intro, this product does not have an obvious performance-centric look. In fact, it's even missing a lot of the things that you would associate with a regular shirt. It doesn't have a traditional breast pocket, nor does it have collars, it doesn't have side slits, it doesn't really have anything like that. And by Acronym's own admission, this product fascinates by virtue of what it's missing. Even so, while this does lack a typical shirt pocket, you'll find two semi-concealed pockets a little bit lower down. They're surprisingly roomy, they're easy to access, and they don't really alter the structure of the garment as well. That's really good evidence of Acronym's design expertise here. I have a Uniqlo fleece, for example, with a similar pocket design, and that makes the stomach area look really bulky, which is definitely not a good look. So luckily Acronym haven't fallen for that one. They're one step ahead of the game with this tailoring. Anyway, these pockets are good if you need a quick place to put something, although this being a relatively lightweight garment, anything too heavy is going to start deforming the shape of this, but we'll talk materials and construction a little bit later. But the only real other performance feature to speak of is a shirt sling that's removable that you'll find on the inside of this. I'm personally a fan of sling-based things, and while you might think that it's a little bit redundant putting it on something that in itself is so lightweight and so easily packable like the LA6B, I think it just adds an extra dimension of wearability. It just gives you an extra option if you're out and about and you decide you don't want to wear this for whatever reason. Maybe you don't have a bag to pack it up with you, you just want to wear it off your back instead. Both of these relatively simple features are nice, they're well designed, and they make the LA6B feel like a relatively easy product to use and take on and off and that sort of thing. But that alone, of course, can't explain what exactly has made this so popular. And to do that, we're going to take a look at the AD suffix of the LA6B-AD, which describes the material, and this is really where things start to get interesting. So AD here stands for Alpha Direct, specifically Polartec Alpha Direct. It's a material initially developed for military use, but now available for us civilians and wannabe soldiers. Interestingly, this is normally used either with a face or a backing fabric, but Acronym here have done neither of these, and they've just created this garment just from this floating Polartec material. Now, this isn't something that has never been done before, and in fact this Alpha Direct fabric is designed so that it can be used like this, but Acronym here have taken it away from its original context of being used for hiking gear and sort of experimental fleeces, as it were, and brought it into the world of the more fashion-conscious, technical consumer. And it's a good job they've done this because Alpha Direct has quite a few really nice qualities. You'll notice from the offset that it's got this really nice open structure that makes it feel like a very lightweight garment, and it gives it a little bit of breathability as well. It's not too cloying as some fleeces can be. It's also really comfy next to skin. It feels kind of like a lighter weight wool, but with none of the scratchiness of that because this is made from recycled polyester. Despite that lightweight and breathability though, its insulating properties are surprising. This is undoubtedly a warm shirt, and yet with none of the bulk or the weight that you might associate with a warm fleece layer. This makes it a very easy choice to throw on, particularly because Acronym have constructed this like a shirt rather than a traditional fleece. That means you can do what I've done and have a kind of messy roll the sleeves up if it's a little bit warmer. You can have those down, of course, and then secure with the buttons. You can do this up if you want to, all designed for different levels of warmth and comfort, depending on what environment you find yourself in. And of course, although I'm wearing this right now as an outer layer, you don't have to do that. This makes a really nice mid layer too. You could wear this in the same way as a fleece or an insulating jacket and wear this underneath an outer layer. So when it is a little bit cooler or a little bit rainy out there, you'll give yourself a little bit of extra warmth without increasing that bulk and weight too much. And all those different environments you can wear it in mean that even though I've owned this for just a few weeks, I found multiple reasons to put this on. And in doing so, I feel really comfy and I've got that certified cozy look as well. I'm not going to pretend that this material is perfect though. Certainly the look is not to everyone's taste. That very, very open structure means that it does have a little bit of translucency to it. So it puts it firmly on the casual side of the spectrum as shirts go. You're probably not going to want to wear this to your important boardroom meeting. That means the base layer you choose to wear is quite important as well. If you wear something white, that is going to show up through this shirt. So you have to be a little bit careful there, and it certainly works better with darker colours than it does with lighter ones. Aesthetically though, I think this works as a seamless shirt that Acronym have turned this into. I think they've successfully taken that away from the hiker look of a technical material like Alpha Direct and kind of given it a new lease of life. And that's exactly what Acronym are good at, so I think that's a successful experiment on their part. Also, as a result of it not being backed onto or facing any fabric, this thing is fairly fragile for what is quite an expensive garment. It's not very abrasion resistant, it's very easy to get this caught on things, particularly a material like Velcro. I have already accidentally got this stuck to a bag twice and had to very, very carefully remove it. You really don't want to accidentally take a chunk out of your nice new £700 shirt. I've also found that this seems to pick up dirt and other material fairly quickly, so you are going to want to wash this fairly frequently. Although in Acronym's defense, they do say that even after repeatedly laundering this, it will still stay nice and keep its structure thanks to that Alpha Direct material. Let's get back to looks though, and the Alpha Direct material really does contribute a lot to the look of this shirt, and I mean that in pretty much the opposite way to almost every Acronym garment. As I said, this is a very minimal looking product because it eschews most of those normal shirt functions. It doesn't have a collar, doesn't have a breast pocket, doesn't have side slits, doesn't have anything like that. So the focus really is on this material and what it can bring to the table. But as well as being worn alongside Acronym garments, or even under them if you choose to wear this as a mid-layer, I think it works in a variety of scenarios, to be honest. You'll see in this video I'm wearing this alongside some Arc'teryx Valence gear. It's all very, very low-key, there's not too much going on with this, so the shirt and the material of that shirt just grabs a little bit of attention and a bit of interest without being too flamboyant and over the top. So it can work with low-key outfits, it can work with kind of weirder stuff as well because it's not going to take the spotlight away. It stands to reason then that the LA6B-AD is a very wearable piece of clothing, and perhaps unlike a lot of other Acronym products, wearable in many different scenarios and not just with other Acronym or Acronym-looking products. So I think it's easy to dismiss the LA6B at first glance as a crazy expensive shirt with neither the wild techwear look that you might associate with Acronym, nor the features that will see this transform into something else at a moment's notice. And yes, we have to accept that £700 is a lot of money for a product of this type compared to that of other brands. You could get some kind of fleece mid-layer that would do the job of this much cheaper. But for Acronym, as an upper body piece of clothing, this is actually one of the cheaper items available. And what you'll find, should you pick this up, is something that will slot into a variety of wardrobes and a variety of outfits really quite easily. You can wear it in all kinds of conditions thanks to its ability to be used as a mid-layer as well as an outer layer, wearing it undone, done up, sleeves rolled up, etc. There's lots of different ways you can do that. And if you combine that with the fact that Acronym have brought this material to a new audience, I think there's a lot of different people that something like this could appeal to. I think this could certainly appeal to a newcomer to the Acronym brand, maybe someone that wants to start investing in the Acronym ecosystem, but maybe doesn't want or doesn't have $2,000 plus to spend on one of their flagship jackets, or maybe is a little bit concerned that it won't quite fit with their style, maybe they want something more low-key, etc. This could certainly appeal to people like that, but then simultaneously, the seasoned Acronym buyer with a whole wardrobe of different Acronym pieces could find something like this a very easy addition to their wardrobe, something else to pick up and just add to their repertoire, because they too, I think, will find this very easy to integrate into their existing outfits. And I think it's this wide appeal born from its high wearability, both from an aesthetic and a construction and performance perspective, and that price coming in at sub $1,000 at least. That's really been the key to the popularity of the LA6B-AD this season. And from my perspective, as someone that has a fairly extensive techwear wardrobe now, but a relative newcomer when it comes to Acronym, I'm going to find myself wearing this quite a lot, I think. I just really hope that I don't catch it on anything. Something that I should mention actually, if you're looking to pick this up, the sizing is fairly small on this, so this is a large, which is normally one size up from what I would get, and I think this fits me fairly well, especially when it's done up. I think the shoulders actually fit better on the medium, but it was a little bit small on the body, so yeah, I would go for a size up on this, and I think this really benefits from having a very slightly relaxed look about it anyway. So that's my advice. It does come up a little bit slim. And that's hopefully everything you wanted to know about one of Acronym's most popular garments this season, the LA6B-AD. Let me know what you think of this thing. It's certainly an interesting piece of clothing, and it's a little bit different to many of Acronym's pieces, but certainly been popular with a lot of people, so hopefully you guys like it as well. Or if you've got any cool alternatives, something that you've been wearing which is maybe like this in some ways, then of course stick that down in the comments as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. It is super appreciated. And of course, as always, we will be back next week with another video. Thank you so much for the great response on the John Elliott Air Force One video. I was a little bit unsure as to how you guys were going to receive them because they're not like a crazy techwear product, but they do kind of have that functionality aspect in there as well. Case, I know, certainly agrees. As soon as he saw that insole quality, was like really hyped on them, which is pretty cool to see. And shout out to Cycwell, definitely need to get my hands on a Cybertruck. Not sure if I'm quite at that level of YouTube fame yet, but I'll slide into Elon Musk's DMs. I'll let you know how I get on with that one. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you want to catch some more stuff, there's going to be links going up at the top. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then do consider doing so, because there's going to be loads of cool stuff coming up. We're coming into December now, which means that there's going to be some Christmassy things. There's going to be some product reviews, all kinds of stuff like that. I know I've been like saying about doing Valent stuff for a while. That's definitely going to happen. We got some Aoku things as well. That's going to be a thing. And yeah, other stuff. There's loads of things.